What's up guys, my name is Red, welcome to my channel. I wanted to update everyone about my thoughts on what I think could happen and what I'm currently excited to see in this Bitcoin rally. Bitcoin has been following some pretty positive price action and kept the rally going after this $500 jump that we got down here. And looking at the daily chart, we can see that Bitcoin finally broke through that 21-day long trend that I've been looking at very closely. But now I'm keeping a very close eye on this indicator I'm about to show you. It's actually the crossing of the 50-day moving, well, I guess the 54-hour moving average and the 200 moving average. This has been a very useful trade signal to see if there's a continuation in the current trend that Bitcoin is in. And it usually works best when the price of Bitcoin is close to the crossing of these two indicators. I'm going to show you some examples and a brief history on the significance of this indicator. Back when let's take a look over here. Back when the 54-hour moving average crossed below the 200 moving average, it signaled that Bitcoin was going to have a downward continuation of the trend that it was currently on. The crossing of these two indicators practically happened on top of the price of Bitcoin, which was a very, very strong short signal. Another instance when these moving averages crossed, back here, it actually crossed towards the upside, and back in mid-April, the price of Bitcoin was a little bit farther away from when the cross happened, but the continuation still went on. I'm going to show you an instance where it did not work. Let's go back. Back in February, when these moving averages were crossing, Bitcoin was roughly $1,500 away from the actual crossing of the two moving averages. But that was actually during the peak of Bitcoin when I had that rally. When the moving averages crossed, Bitcoin didn't actually go up, it went down right after that. This is an example of how volatile Bitcoin is. If you're making a trade like this when the price of Bitcoin is so far from the moving averages, then you're taking a really high risk, low reward scenario. So you have to keep an eye on this sort of thing. But now that the volatility of Bitcoin has actually dropped a little bit, these trade signals are actually even stronger now. And the risk to reward tends to favor you. But all of this is more of a short-term play. I'm going to show you a longer term. Let's move on to the weekly chart and see what we have there. For the weekly chart, I actually use different moving averages. I use the 30 and the 50. So over the past, we've seen that these moving averages have shown some nice support zones and resistance zones for Bitcoin. Back here in February, we saw Bitcoin bounce off of the 30-week moving average, drop down, then bounce off of the 50-week, only to get rejected by the 30-week moving average. To me, it's looking like the 4-hour golden cross that Bitcoin is about to have can actually take us to the $8,000, $9,000 mark. And the reason why I say that is because it looks like this is where the moving averages are resting, like right in between the $9,000 and the $8,000 mark. But to me, it looks like these moving averages are actually going to be crossing to the downside relatively soon. I'll show you real quick the significance of these crosses and how it affects the bigger picture of Bitcoin. So back in 2014, we saw these moving averages cross right after Bitcoin made its new all-time high, had a decline and then a small rally to these moving averages. But after it crossed a few months later, it had another cross to the upside, and Bitcoin had one of the biggest bull runs in history. So that's pretty much why I think these moving averages are significant in the bigger picture of Bitcoin. I personally don't feel like this bear market is over, but I feel like we are getting a lot closer to the end of it. And I also think that we're moving a lot faster too. In a previous video, I talked about when it was a good time to feel bullish, and I said above 10K would make me feel bullish. Well, if we were to have another weak rally to the $8,000, $9,000 mark, and then drop back to our support level of around the $5,800 mark, then I would feel bullish if we bounced off of that $5,800 support level and went over the next rally, which in this example is between 8 and 9,000. Pulling back from this rally wouldn't be the worst thing in my opinion, because I personally think that it will help shave off some of Bitcoin's volatility, and it'll give us clear trade signals in the future. Well, I hope that gave you some clarity. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can check out some future updates that I'll be giving on anything related to crypto. Thanks, guys.